Okay, so there's a lot of people who keep asking me questions because the last few years, the spirits have moved in my life in such a way that they've made me very strong, very perceptive, very intuitive to a lot of things. They've also given a lot of messages for people I've never even met before, and these messages have gone out to a lot of people. Now, it'd be one thing if I was right, on a percentage scale, but every time that there's been a message went out, it's been 100% accurate, dead on. So there's something that is communicating, and a lot of what I'm hearing and perceiving and seeing is that there's a lot of things about to start to happen to the planet Earth. Now, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, conspiracy theory and all this stuff. Now, I've never been about something like that. Anybody that knows me would tell you this. But I can tell you this: you don't have to be an Einstein to look at the stars in the sky. Something's different, something's off. Look, pay attention. They built underground cities around the world for people to go and hide when a lot of things start happening. It's interesting that the 266th Pope, which is the last Pope predicted by St. Peter for the church, is going to be in America on the 266th day of the year, which is September the 23rd, 2015. There's a lot of things that are centered around September 2015. And they're not telling people, they're not warning anyone. They're going about their business and keeping everybody in sheep mentality. Go about your work. Go to work, pay your taxes, pay the light bill. But they're not giving everybody fair warning. A lot of the elite in the country, the billionaires and everything, they've already left the United States. There are things you can look up and find on YouTube that they're not all conspiracy. These are facts. Why is there a stand of surface-to-air missiles aimed in Texas into the United States? Not out of the country at Mexico, but into the USA. Why are there all these underground highway networks now built? Why is it that the new Denver International Airport happens to be called the New World Airport? There's a lot of things that are going on. Pay attention. Look, listen. The things are around you. You can see these things for yourself. It doesn't take a conspiracy theorist. It takes someone willing to tell the truth. Now, these people that are going to run underground and think that they're going to save themselves, they're condemning themselves to their own hell. Now, I believe that there's a lot of other people that understand and know we're not from this planet. We were put here as sort of an experiment. And we've come to the run of our experimentation. You have to understand that we as the human race have almost destroyed this planet. It's not ours to do that with. They're going to remove us. If you look for videos, you'll see there have been portals opened up all around the world at different times. I think that that's how they're going to transport a lot of us, is through those portals. They're going to find a way to do a mass evacuation because there's some things about to happen and Earth is about to cleanse itself. So it's extinction level event time. And I think they're going to get our souls, our energy forms out of here before we are allowed to be destroyed, because we are part of the experiment. We are the forms that come here and evolve through flesh or whatever material we happen to be conscious and sentient in at that time. I believe that it's been shared that we are actually the fourth experimentation to walk on the planet Earth. It would explain a lot of things, and finding cities and other relics that are older than what we can trace humanity back to. But there's too much advanced technology that's been used in the past and everybody's confused by. Here's what I can tell you. I've been given, if you will, take it for what it's worth and take it with a grain of salt. The Sumerians, the reason nobody can trace us back beyond that, when they were putting the earth together for the experiment, we had to have certain key things in place. So what happened was, when they were ready to begin the experiment in earnest, they set off an electromagnetic pulse that rendered all the technology that was left on Earth useless. So basically, the people that were here were thrown into a stone age, if you will, where they no longer had any of these abilities. They didn't have any of the technology. And from that point, they had to actually go out and start rebuilding a civilization from what they had, which was all the basic tools, all the basic principles, but they had to build it up themselves to get to where they could use it again, which is where so much of the question about where did the pyramids and all these other things come from, well, they were from other planets and they built along power lines on the earth, and it gave them the ability to use all this technology until they were done with it, and then they could short it out, putting us in a stone age. And then we evolved from there back up to where we were able to build a society. Now, the experiment began with only a few thousand people, but then they started learning that there were certain people within this circle who were already bent in wanting to shape it a certain way. So they started influencing man and giving them certain key pieces of information or technology that they weren't supposed to have until sometime later, putting us on a path for atomic evolution rather than natural evolution. So we've slowly been poisoning our planet, and we've slowly been poisoning ourselves. We've slowly been poisoning the water, the plants, the animals. Well, something has to give. And as it is, we have several extinction level events that are on the precipice of being able to happen. The caldera in Yellowstone, other supervolcanoes that are suddenly starting to wake up, earthquakes that could render the entire power grid completely useless, knocking us back into the dark ages. There's so much that we have forgotten about basic living that we are going to find mass hysteria, mass tragedy when things start happening here and the elite run underground to their bunkers and leave everybody else on the surface to figure out what to do. My advice is start learning to live in love. Stop putting labels on everything. Stop worrying about everybody else's opinion about your life, because if they're not feeding, fucking, or financing you, their opinion about your life should be zero. If people aren't adding to your life, if they're not bringing something to your life, then they're not fitting into your garden of life, because they're not plants. They're not adding something. They're weeds. They're taking up place and resource and energy. Pull them, burn them. Surround yourself with people that you love and that you care about, and that those are the people that are important to have this time with, because it's not going to be long. You've been warned multiple times, but everybody's been like sheep, keeping their eyes down and not looking up. It's time to look up, people. It's time to look up. Look at the stars at night. See if you don't see what so many others are seeing. See if you don't see the things that are coming at Earth, the things changing around Earth. Look into CERN. What are they doing with this Large Hadron Collider that is starting to put out these plasma tubes that are around the Earth that are reaching out hundreds of miles? They're playing with the fabric of space-time. We are not allowed to destroy this planet, and we certainly will not be allowed to destroy the universe. The end days are here for this race. But once Earth's had time to heal and return back to Eden, they'll probably bring us back to start the experiment again. But for now, our time is done. It's a matter of time for when they come to collect us. So enjoy things like this, the peace, the calm of nature, a forest. This is where I come to meditate and to ponder the things that I keep having appear to me in visions. I'm not crazy, I wish I were. And I'm not wrong, I wish I were. But a lot's about to happen, and we all need to prepare. Start looking up. Start listening. Start questioning. Start being aware. I love everyone. I hope everybody has the best transition to where we will find you. Love to the world. Love to all.